But back to Labor getting tougher on Israel. It's now said that Israel still hasn't properly explained how and why it killed 7 aid workers in Gaza, including an Australian, and has appointed Air Chief Marshal Mark Binskin to check on Israel's ongoing investigation to what Israel says was a mistake. A couple of senior officers have already been fired.
We would expect that Mr Binskin will be able to work in a way that provides greater information to Australia. We want to ensure that all evidence is preserved, but we want him to have full access.
Well, joining me from New Zealand this week is our country's top foreign affairs writer, Greg Sheridan of The Australian. Greg, great to see you. The Albanese government's reaction to what clearly seems a mistake by Israel, your verdict?
Well, Andrew, I think this is a disgraceful, sensationalist and wicked stunt by the Albanese government, which is not only wrong in principle and bad morally, but threatens to politicise and debauch our own military. Mark Binskin is a good guy. I've known him, interviewed him, very good guy. But, you know, in democracies, uniformed soldiers do as they're told. I'll make 2 points about this ridiculous stunt. First, the Australian ambassador in Israel could undertake any liaison, ongoing about future Israeli investigations. Secondly, a uniformed soldier will do as he's told, do as the government wants him to do. If the government says, now, Binskin, I want you to establish whether the Israelis have produced the perfect, legally untouchable, magnificent, platonic ideal of an inquiry, he'll come back with a report saying, no, the Israelis have been very bad. If they say to him, now, Mark, I want you to establish whether the Israelis had an inquiry and would do roughly as much as we would do, he'd say, yes, Prime Minister, they've done fine. So the government will get whatever outcome it wants, which is no reflection on Binskin. But this is the government misusing a uniform to dress up its own dreadful political cowardice in deserting Israel. You know, Australian soldiers are accused, and we have no way of knowing the justice of this, of war crimes in Afghanistan from many, many, many years ago. And I think one charge has been laid all these many years later. Now Israel plainly made a mistake. It would be insane to think Israel did this on purpose because it's wrong in principle and nothing has done Israel more damage. And the Albanese government apparently wants convictions, within 2 weeks. This, in my opinion, Andrew, is grotesque, and it's the worst thing so far I've heard of in the Albanese government era.
Greg Sheridan, well said.